Welcome to your Supernatural Breakthrough Report. This is the Peace Dealer. We see as the Celestial Original, as an artist personality. Let us get into this. This is very significant for you. So I'm glad you, more than most other people, got this report, because knowing that this is based off of the Pluto transits, which I will once again specify, Pluto is right near your stuff. We both have North Node Aquarius, so we're due for a nodal return soon, which is going to be so good for us. Oh my God, I feel like we're going to wreak havoc on the collective. Like, we're having a nodal return with Pluto on our nodes. Like, that can't be good. That being said, I do want to emphasize the significance of this breakthrough arc. Like I promised, we are going to look into this 180 degree opposition, which we had a new moon, right? So this is 180 degrees breakthrough. We're going to cover the 210 degree breakthrough, which we've completed. And now at present, we are at the 240 degree breakthrough. Literally, this is today. This is tomorrow. But today, the sun is like 1 degree. So we're at this stage. And then after 30 more days after this stage, boom, we've completed. By the time we're 1 degree Scorpio, that is the breakthrough arc. This sequence, we are going to repeat 20 more times until 2044. Okay. Where we're going to conjunct in the beginning of January. Then from August to late October, we're going to break through. And what that's going to represent is the breakthrough and harvest of supernatural energy, an awakening of humanity, and an awakening of higher knowledge that we will express on stage, transform the analysis of, direct the classic truth of, and balance, and then be aware of the wisdom that completes this knowledge. As of course, knowledge needs wisdom to apply itself. So that's the mechanic behind the breakthrough. We are covering Leo to Scorpio. Mathematically, we can see the angles. Cool. So we know that for you, Pluto is in your 4th house. Aquarius rules your 5th, but it's in between your Saturn and Mars. Okay. Coming into later in the decade, which I might as well just give you the year. So let's actually move forward. Yeah. If we move like, 2026, 2027, 2028. So mind you, 2026 and 2027 specifically, we're going to have the North Node and Pluto near your Mars. By the time you get to 2029, that's when it finally hits your Mars. And by the time we hit like 2032, that's when it hits your moon. 2032, 2033. That's when Uranus and Saturn will finally be opposite our Uranus and Saturn. Okay. Making for a full square from Saturn going through Aries. It's another thing to keep in mind. 2026, Saturn is going to conjunct the sun on your sun in Aries. So this is going to activate this brand new world order cycle that you're going to be one of the few people that are directly aware of, as your celestial soul is feeling the deeper knowledge of what this means for humanity moving forward. Because as a celestial soul, you feel the future. And you are a vessel of our destiny. So you know the future. Super badass. Okay. So these are things we want to take into account. The analogy, of course, of Pluto awakening is like we're awakening secret knowledge that once we break through in Leo, we've memorized it by heart and we're performing it on stage. Now for you, Leo is a part of your 10th house. It marks your 11th house. Why this is even more significant. I wanted to show you when, Pluto's going to reach this, right? Do you have to wait until then? Absolutely not. And while this is there, by the way, we're going, as you can see, when we're at Scorpio 12 degrees, it's going to complete it for that year. So we're still going to have that same aspect. But I just wanted to give you an idea. All right. Right now it's 1 degrees trine this. And we are at the 3rd and final part of this breakthrough. We had the opposition. We transformed this knowledge through the analysis and change of our habits through Virgo, which we'll do again over and over and over. And now we're applying this change of behavior sociologically to balance not only this Neptune opposition, but to logically show us what knowledge we've awakened through the passion and analysis. All right. And how we apply this in our relationships with other people. Something that as a Libra rising, you're going to actually be embodying more year by year. Even though you've progressed your rising, into Scorpio on Hades, mind you. So that's another thing we have to look forward to as Pluto Scorpios. By the time 2033 hits and Saturn and Uranus are in Cancer opposing our stuff, and now we fully harvested our supernatural powers, which, by the way, that's why this is a huge deal, because we have Saturn Capricorn. I was born 2 months after you. We have Saturn in the same position. 2027, Saturn is going to be 23 degrees Aries. And that's where we're going to begin to integrate the God power we have. We have one of the most powerful Saturn returns ever in human history. I honestly don't care who disagrees with that. You and I will slap them in the face because they have no idea what they're talking about. You and I both know this, especially you having this in the fourth, ruling of the fourth. No one has a better Saturn return than it. The only Saturns that may rival ours are the apocalypse babies who had the audacity to be born during the pandemic and the beginning of the apocalypse 2020. Like 2020, we have Saturn, Pluto, Mars, Jupiter in Capricorn, and they still don't even have our exaltation. So like even we're going to put them in check. By the time they come of age, we'll pass the torch to them. But like nobody is seeing us. I am bragging about this open. I can't wait. Like this is very exciting. And that's why you, with your Aries sun, you're going to begin to see this. Like once Saturn, for those born in 88 and 89 with their Saturn, they have theirs in the beginning. They're going to be the first to integrate. Then we're going to integrate. Then by 2033, we're going to harvest. And this is going to be amazing for your career. But as we're integrating over the next 7 years, the God power, the universal power you've returned is going to begin to integrate. You're going to begin to utilize and direct it. You're going to see more evidence of how you can manipulate matter and control things with your mind and quite literally just be this existential portal and source through which you're directing so much. And this is why it's a long process. Saturn, period. But because our Saturn return is linked to this collective karmic authority, that 61, Saturn was last in the Capricorn. They didn't have Uranus and Neptune. That's what makes ours very supernatural. This unconscious, subconscious, supernatural, causal realm, astral realm link. And that's what we're going to begin to, in your case, through other people, break through. So I didn't mean to make it so much about that. It's important to understand the significance of this by the time it harvests, so that now you know with Pluto, every Leo season, right? Because Jupiter is completing the evolution cycle you started since 2017. And it's going through Cancer and it's evolving your legacy. Next year will be in Leo and you're going to come into the rewards. The South Node is going to be in Leo, right? And it's going to unlock all of this towards what? North Node, Pluto in Aquarius, which is going to unlock this nodal return, which is going to accelerate throughout the next 2 years, this supernatural development of your soul, and really clear out more how with Uranus and Gemini, you are philosophically creating this unique language that you're going to be speaking, especially as it's sextiling your sun, activating this expression of a language since 2010 when it went over your sun natally. And we know your progress sun is in Taurus. So this is where the opposition in Leo initially began to break through with this conjunction, what that success is going to begin to look like in unlocking our creative talents in order to network. How are you breaking through every year this hidden knowledge that you perform, whether literally on stage towards others or show through this exuberance and confidence? And this is where this is going to be really badass, because every year for the next 20 years, this is going to be beginning to break through in your 10th house of success. So you're planting these seeds, you're integrating them through how naturally you ground, of course, this hidden knowledge with other people. And then you present and perform this out to break through into powerful success. By the time we go into Virgo, you begin to transform the analysis of not only how you receive these rewards, but through the 12th house, how you release old behaviors, which now this year revisits the eclipse we had as a Libra rising to unlock your dream life. Hence, looking now, Saturn and Neptune retrograding back into this 6th house space is making sure everything since March to align this dream life, and over the next 2 years to discipline your lifestyle. You are matching the habits that not only align with this, but it's making you aware of unconscious habits that you set with other people and how you relate with other people to release, so that now you can replace with a new persona what you will, of course, integrate back in Pisces. So this 12th house portion with now the Libra placement is just making you aware of how you are seeing this hidden knowledge, release old habits, and now, of course, amplify with this Jupiter in your 10th, breaking you through into greater rewards, how you personify yourself, how you adjust your social personality. Let's say the 6th house breakthrough was you don't smoke cigarettes anymore. Now in Virgo Libra season, you're looking at people who are offering you cigarettes and it's like, oh, I don't smoke that. I don't do that. And what's that going to do? That's going to change your personality. It's going to adjust and release and transcend your personality. But the white noise in the background is Jupiter has returned for you. And this is happening during a period where since 2017, you're coming into the rewards, you're coming into the accomplishments, you're evolving your legacy. So that's a very important thing for this year and next year, as it will go from accomplishments to rewards. And then Scorpio season, that 1 degree here when we complete, is going to transform this wisdom of your personality and value, right? As Pluto gets closer to your moon, this will square more your 2nd house. So this is going to complete itself in how you're transforming the value and worth that's supernaturally sourced relative to this eccentric, extraordinary creativity and this grounded universal power outlet and source of a foundation that will, of course, break through into success, which transforms a lot of how you release old habits and now transcend your personality. So that is a great way to see, in theory, the 20-year cycle of this breakthrough. And then specific to this year, we know that this is aligning with Jupiter, concluding the evolution, breaking you through into success. Saturn, that is finalizing its unlocking of your dream life. And then, of course, you transcending the beginnings of how you will align with this extraordinary, extreme, supernatural awakening of your soul. So how do you see that in your career? How does that begin to transform who you have around you? And how will that transcend your social personality so that you can manifest by Scorpio more pure wisdom, value, and evidence of this breakthrough, which will extremely, as Pluto squares your Pluto, just revolutionize your self-esteem and make more effortless your ability to manifest. So I'm definitely looking forward to your feedback, especially these upcoming transits that are going to be so good for us. Challenging, but super badass. And until next time, peace.